Hi guys, the latest vlog is about yet another add-on to the saga of the Matheson phone Roman £11,000 bill scandal. This is just getting ridiculous. It's just bonkers, right? So there's been a new thing happen to get bolted onto this saga. So just to give you a quick up to date what's going on so far. Matheson went on holiday at Christmas and New Year 11 and a half months ago, came home to £11,000 Roman charges bill during his stay in Morocco, got the government to pay it, nice, Scottish Government paid for it, and he claimed that it was for government business. So 10 months later, the story broke about a month ago, and there was bedlam, and he said it was all for government business while he was on holiday, and then later admitted that that was nonsense. And it transpired that his kids were playing football, watching football, 2 games during the Christmas New Year break. Now, bonkers that first thing he said was it was government business. Then when he got caught lying, he used the excuse that he was just trying to protect his family. This upstanding citizen, this father, this caring, loving, protective father. But in the same sentence then said, but it was my boys watching the football. Apparently they were watching 2 games of football, streaming it, not on his iPad, I hasten to add, so he says, but they were using the hotspot in his iPad to watch it on their own devices. Don't believe a word of it. So there was a bit of an uproar and people were demanding that he get sacked and all this stuff, and the SNP closed ranks and protected him. So what happened since then is yesterday there's a story broke that I don't believe I'm actually saying this, but a member of the public put in a freedom of information request, and in that freedom of information request they asked quite clearly for any correspondence that the Scottish Government had with Matheson last January, February, March time, and this bill was needing paid, to see what went on. Now that to me, somebody that has been a taxpayer and I think maybe even a constituent of his has seen the story and thought, well, I would like to know more about this. I would like to know what the government done about this. I would like to know, did he pay it, claim it back, or did the bill get paid with the Scottish Government? And all these things that a normal person might want to know, not unreasonable questions. So the man sent off his freedom of I say man, I don't know, could be a woman, so I suppose I should stop being sexist, and asked this quite simple, not difficult question: could they have the correspondence between the Scottish Government and Matheson, the MSP, and surprisingly the Health Minister for Scottish Government? Could they, provide that under a freedom of information request? And they said no. No, we're not doing it. Because, wait, hear this is cracking. The reason given to not give this man the perfectly reasonable information he asked for was it would be a lack of privacy for Michael Matheson. Can you believe that? Matheson is, first of all, been voted in to the Scottish Parliament as an MSP to serve the people of his constituency. And one of them's asked a question about him and getting told no, they can't answer that because it would be an invasion of his privacy. He is now subject to an investigation. I'll come on to that in a minute. Because of his £11,000 bill for Roman charges that the government. Now he's saying he's paid it back, and that's meant to make it all the better. But if he's committed a fraudulent claim 11 months ago or 10 months ago, whenever the bill needed paid, he committed the act then. What he's done after that, if he wants to say sorry and throw his kids under a bus and pay the £11,000 back, that's his choice. Doesn't stop the fact that he done the act in the first place. But we'll have to just accept Michael's apology and move on. And this guy's just asked these simple questions, but we have to protect his privacy. A guy who looks as if he's defrauded the public purse by £11,000. And then a load of other add-ons, the fact that he's used this government device for non-government work. Might not be the biggest crime in the world, but he's now saying that he gave his kids, they used it as a hotspot, which means they've had access, he's given out the passwords for this government device. There's 100 add-ons to this that are additional to the biggest problem, that he's just spent £11,000 and claimed it back for the public purse. Just bonkers. But anyway, there's this investigation into that, and this it gets better, right? There's an investigation which may get him reported to the Government Standards Committee over this, what happened. Did they claim it fraudulently, or did they, it's possible that the bill might get paid and he didn't know anything about it. I think it's improbable, though. I think the most probable outcome is he's had the bill, he's put a claim in, got paid the bill, and either way, somebody somewhere has decided that that's an acceptable claim. So there's going to be this investigation into the whole situation that's going to happen in January. But it's already planned out how this investigation will run. They're going to give him a couple of weeks to put in any additional evidence he wants to try and substantiate this has been legal and proper. And then the committee want another 2 weeks to sit down and analyse all the facts before they come to a decision. So the probability is that that'll not happen till about February. And we all know what the SNP will do now. They'll just, anybody asks them a question about it, they'll go to SNP default mode, and they'll say, oh, there's an outstanding, there's a current investigation, and I'm quite sure that will be done properly, and we'll all honour whatever happens. Well, bollocks to that. You guys as a party, and more importantly, you guys as a government, could expel that man like that. You've not done it since November when the story broke. You've not done it since February or March, whenever the bill was paid in the first place. You've done absolutely nothing but protect this guy. He's an absolute crank. And there's another story about him he's getting involved in, potentially bullying and gerrymandering candidates for elections. And this is a stinky one that the SNP there's a lot of allegations about this, about a lot of SNP people trying to influence who should and shouldn't be put forward for election candidates, and goes right to the top. Even Hamza is involved in this with a woman. I don't know if he's very friendly with her or not. Is it Anun Kazar? I don't know what their relationship's like. I believe that they're quite close. And how she became a candidate for the SNP. And to be fair, Michael seems to be just following the party line with this, where he's now involved in one of these claims. They're absolutely fruitcakes of people. Then every day, as I said before, there's just more and more stuff comes out. It's almost, I don't need to go far. I thought I'd do 2 or 3 of these vlogs a week when I started doing them. Whenever I just seen something that upset me about the SNP. I done 3 yesterday. And that's not me going out trying to dig up. This is stuff that's there in the public domain that I'm relaying to you guys. They're a gift that keeps giving. And I just don't know how long you can just continue to just plunder their way through careers and plunder their way through terms in government, and until somebody says stop. Just stop the bus or camper van. Just stop. And let's just have a look at what they're actually doing here. The Scottish Government right now has 0 positive impact on Scotland. I asked someone on the comments page the other day, tell me one thing, just one thing in the last 10 years that the Scottish Government has done that's been a benefit to Scotland. And I got a 2-word response: free prescriptions. Is that right? Aye. I'm 50 years of age, and I remember my first ever memory of a prescription was looking at the back of it and asking my mum, what does that mean? And she said, well, that means if you can't afford your prescription, you tick that box and you get it for nothing. That must have been 40 plus years ago. But that's the only thing this person could think of a positive that the Scottish Government has produced for the people of Scotland in the last decade, and that was total bollocks. So I challenge anybody, comments below, tell me one thing, just one thing, in the last 10 years that the Scottish Government has done that's been a positive for this country. And I'll wait. So guys, lovely to see you again. Hope you all enjoyed this one. If you like it, thumbs up. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe and the wee notifications button, and have a lovely, lovely day. Bye now.